Hello, beautiful, wonderful students. I am here today to show you the Week 1 art project called Pointillism. So, Pointillism is an art piece made solely out of the three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, and it's all dotted, okay, or little points. So, every color that you lay down on your paper is going to be a point, and you're going to layer the points on top of each other, or the dots on top of each other, to mix the primary colors to make the secondary and tertiary colors. So let's get started. Alright, so your first step in the Pointillism art piece is to gather all your supplies. So go to your curriculum box and get the Ziploc bag that's labeled art. Inside the bag, find the pink piece of paper labeled Pointillism, and that's going to tell you which items in the bag are for this project. Please, please, please do not use other items in the bag that are not for this project. I know it's going to be tempting when you see really fun things like watercolor and watercolor paper in your bag, but hold off, I promise we're going to get to those projects in the weeks to come. So, in the bag for this project is going to be cardstock, so two small pieces of cardstock, and your markers, so red, blue, and yellow markers. These are the only markers that you're going to be allowed to use for this project. And I know it seems difficult, but I promise it's going to be okay. So these three markers are the only ones. It's going to defeat the purpose of the project if you go and find a green or a purple or an orange marker and use it instead of actually doing the project and mixing the colors together, okay? Remember, this project is worth 10 points, and all of it is graded on participation, effort, and attitude. And you've heard me say that before if you've been in my class, but these three things are the most important to me. It's not whether you're the greatest artist, it's if you put effort and participation into your project. So you would get docked points if you went and found a different colored marker, and I'm probably going to be able to tell if you didn't use these three colors on your project. So these markers only. You're also going to need a pencil, and you might want an eraser if you want it. You can use the eraser on your pencil or a separate eraser if you have it. So the next step is to gather some supplies from your house, and these are more items. So gather some items, 3 to 4 items that you like. They can be in your bedroom, they can be on the nightstand next to you. They don't have to be huge things, you don't have to go searching, it's okay. So I picked this orange book that I grabbed off my bookshelf, this red candle, okay, and this shoe. Alright. So literally just random things that you find, try to make them not all primary colors. So if you have an orange thing, a yellow or a red or a blue things, that's kind of going to not really defeat the purpose. It's going to defeat the purpose. So just find some random things. Then you're going to set them up like a still life. If you've never seen a still life before, that's totally okay. I have linked down in the Google Classroom 2 examples of some Pointillism still lifes for you to check out. So the first example is a traditional fruit still life, and you've probably seen them all before where there's fruit in a bowl set up and they've sketched it out. That's an example. Another one is some flowers, and that's another very traditional still life, but you can use any items. We're going to go with untraditional still lifes today. Alright, once you have your items picked out, find a spot near you and set them up. So I have this little table next to my chair, and I just set up my items with the candle, the book, and the shoe, and this is the perspective that you're going to sketch them from. So once you have your items set up next to you, take your paper and your pencil and start sketching lightly. If you sketch too hard, it's going to be difficult to erase the pencil later because you're not going to see all where the lines are. If you sketch too lightly, you're not going to know where all of the lines stop. So sketch lightly, but not too lightly on your paper. And I'm going to do a very basic sketch of what I see, not including any of the words or the designs on here. I do want you to put in a lot more effort than I put in. Okay, this is just an example and an idea to get you understanding how this works. Remember, our art class is about 2 hours long during the week, and so about 2 hours or less is what I expect you to take on this project. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. Do a little bit here, a little bit there. It is due on Friday night at midnight. If for some reason you need to get it in later, it's due at midnight. So sketch out your piece, including all the words and stuff that you see on your items. So once you have your sketched out, I'm telling you, this is basic. This is just the shapes. But once your sketch is finished, you can start dotting. So your dotting method is going to be this. Think about which color needs to go where. This needs to be orange, this has to be red, and this has to be green. Okay? So if this needs to be orange over here, I need to do red and yellow together to make orange. Red here, and then green here, which is going to be blue and yellow. Okay? So start with dotting one color. Maybe I'll dot this one red, and then I'll dot this one yellow over here, and I'll dot this one red right here. And then I'll go back and I'll do yellow or blue, okay? So really think about which colors are gonna go where. If you're not sure how to color mix, that's okay. I have in the Google Classroom a link to a color mixing chart that you can check out. Get your sketch ready to dot. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my red, and I think I'm gonna do, actually I'm gonna do the shoe. So I'm gonna take my yellow, and I'm just gonna start dotting. I'm gonna first dot around the edge. It's definitely hard when I have one hand. So first dot around the edge so that you know where your dots are going to stop. Okay, and why am I dotting yellow? Well, this shoe has to be green. So that is yellow and blue. Okay, so you're going to dot. I'm just gonna dot one color first. Okay, once the outline is dotted, you can continue to fill in. Example of what to do and what not to do. This is what to do. So your dots are going to be very close together. There's going to be very high concentration of dots because when you go to dot on this, you're actually going to be dotting over the other color. And as you can see, it's going to start turning green, okay? So in blue and yellow, it's going to start turning green. If I go to dot on this one, this is what not to do. It's going to be hard to actually get your colors to start overlapping, and it's not actually going to start making the color that you want, okay? So, high concentration of dots, and keep dotting until it's the color you want. You can always go back with your first color and dot again, but just keep dotting until the whole thing is the color that you want. Alright, so as you can see, my shoe is starting to turn a lot more green. So this is when I just did yellow and blue on this bottom half. On this top half, I've gone back again with more yellow, and it's starting to look even more green. So you can really see the green. Okay, so when I first started dotting, I was just kind of going at it. But now, you should start going slower and trying to fill in the white spaces and the colors that you need to mix, okay? So I'm making sure that I'm dotting on every blue dot and more in the white space too, okay? So I hope that you're getting an idea of how this is supposed to go. Once you've dotted all of the one color, go back, dot all of the second color, and then make sure your whole piece is in color, at least the items. The background, if you have time, go ahead and do it in whichever color you want, but at least I want the pieces to be in color. So, here's what not to do. Here's what to do, okay? Lots of dots, and the colors are mixing. Alright, not a lot of dots. That's not what's to do. I forgot to say earlier, but if you prefer, these directions are all typed out in Google Classroom, so you can look at them there. But I think this video is going to be really helpful for you, especially if you've never seen something like this. If you're still confused after I'm done explaining, don't worry, that's totally okay. You can go to YouTube or Google and just search Pointillism, and there's going to be other tutorials that you can check out there that will be helpful to you also. So, once your piece is fully covered in dots and in color, you're done. Good job, you did it. You can go back and erase the pencil marks, if you can still see them, and just kind of touch up any areas that you need to touch up. This is a really fun art project, but it's also pretty relaxing and a little bit time consuming. So go ahead and once you got the hang of it, throw on some music or your favorite podcasts and just really kind of sink into the art project and do your best, okay? Once you're finished, I need you to post a picture of it on the Google Classroom. There's going to be a link where you can post a picture, so post a picture of it. and that way I can see it and grade it. If you have any questions, we are going to have a class Zoom call once a week. And there's going to be the 2 different classes, so the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to have a Zoom call, and the Thursday art/home ec, we're going to have a Zoom call. That's a really good time to ask me questions, but I'm always available for email or messages on Parent Square all the time. So pretty much from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I will be available to respond to your questions. So don't be hesitant to ask me, because I know it seems a little daunting to go ahead and start a new art project when there's not someone there to ask questions to. Again, if you find this helpful, that's awesome. If you find it confusing, that's okay. There's lots of tutorials out there on YouTube. Just do your best, and I want you guys to really enjoy this art piece and enjoy this time that you have at home with your families. I hope that you're staying healthy and safe, and I'll see you next week for another art project.